I was confused as well, so I can't imagine. I was like texting my brother, like, shouldn't that be like?
What do you feel like? I just asked Bubba this too, but what do you feel like the mindset is in your 1-5 football team? You see other teams firing their coach and calling out players, and players-only teams. What is the 1-5 vibe on you guys?
Yeah, I mean, frustrated is like a big point. Like, obviously, everybody's frustrated because no one wants to be 1-5. But I think our team actually is very close. Like, the guys, get along and we push for each other. And we haven't had any of that internal, arguing and stuff like that. Like, everybody's on the same page of, like, what do we need to do to be better to try and find a win. So from that mindset, everybody is frustrated with the results. But there's no, like, infighting in that. It's just, like, we have that urgency and that, you get a little bit more maybe fired up throughout the week when you're trying to find a way to get a win.
And specifically, what did you think of, Miles expressed frustration with you guys losing the same way every week. And also, I asked him about, how the losing took its toll on Joe Thomas, and he admitted that it's getting to him too. So those two issues, really.
Yeah, we want to be better for, our defense. We want to get them a 2-score lead to try and let them rush the passer and unleash it. I think a lot of teams have realized, like, get the ball out quick, try and neutralize our defense's pass rush because they've, done a good job when they're allowed to rush the quarterback. And for us on offense, we have to put a little pressure on them so that they're going to have to, start taking shots and start things. So I totally get it. I mean, if you're not, like, if you're sitting here and you're 1-5 and you're not frustrated at things, like, that's, a bad sign. So we're all on the same page in that boat. And then, yeah, losing sucks. Your most memorable years of the, for me, that first year when we, started out really, really well, like 7-4, I was like, this is the NFL. You win some games and stuff, and then you go to the playoffs a couple times. Like, the winning solves a lot of problems. And so anytime you're, losing games and they're stacking up, like, it is frustrating. It gets to you. But that's why you play. You play to win the game, and you try and do whatever you can in your power to get those wins. Because when you get them after those losses, they're even sweeter.
For you personally, Joel, how difficult is it to get up and get to go to work again when things look bleak?
Yeah, it's not the getting up part is not. It's more the body hurts in the morning, But for me, like, I get to play football for a living, and I've done my dream job for the last 12 years. So the losing, you never want to walk in the building when it's losing, but I get to come to football. I get to play for the Cleveland Browns, and that's a dream come true. So I always have that mindset. Like, I try and be the same guy every day for the team, and try and be that piece that guys can lean on to. Like, Joel's coming to work today to do his thing. And so for me, it's not difficult. Do I want us to win more games? Yes. But from a coming to work mindset, like, that's my job, and I'm lucky to have it.
You talked about the run game on Sunday, but how much right now do you think is, when you guys don't have that lead, you can't run the way you want to, and I guess how do you combat the frustration of that? Because when it's working, it obviously looks really good so far.
Yeah, we have to be more successful early in the game, running the ball. That way it gives us a chance to, keep a lead and play in those positive game script situations. And so for me, it's like, what can we do as an offensive line, as a tight end group, as receivers, like, to keep the run game going? Because I think it's going to open up everything for, the offense and the defense. It's really, the key to the team. But when you get into a game and you start losing and playing 2-minute drives and stuff like that, it's hard to really be like, all right, we got to score 2 times here in the next 10 minutes. Like, can we run the ball? In those situations, like, certain times, I think you can still run the ball when you're down. But for us, it's like, what fundamentally assignment-based can we do early in the game to make sure the running game is working right for that game?
Talk to Tommy Racing. He was just explaining that, the sacks and the quarterback hits and the quarterback pressures, like, that's just not an offensive line thing. But, what can be done then collectively as a unit to lower those numbers, give Dylan a little more time back there, or at least give him, a better view of plays?
Yeah, it's one of those things where like everybody just blocks better. You know what I mean? Like overall, like everybody has their assignment and blocks better. Like it should work better. But for us, I think it is continue to establish the run, have those play action plays off the run, make sure assignments sound when we do call the shot plays and stuff that we're blocked up, even if they blitz secondary guys and extra players. And truthfully, it does come down to winning your one-on-ones. Like you have to make your blocks in this league. And, you play tough defense like the Steelers, and they got, 5 or 6 guys that get off to the quarterback. Like, eventually you got to win your one-on-ones. Like, there's ways to help it. There's ways to fix it. I think you've seen teams against our defense, like, they do certain things to try and get the ball out and try and make those things happen. But at the end of the day, when you have the shots and you have the open plays, you gotta execute.
When the weather, every offensive lineman is rather run block. So when you see a forecast for 35 to 40 mile an hour winds on Sunday, are you looking forward to a game like that?
I like playing in a little bit of the slop. It's I always say like the O-line are like the slowest guys on the field, and so when the field gets a little bit slower for everybody else, like we can only get so slow. So like it's gonna slow everybody else down, and we'll kind of be in the bring them into our world a little bit. But we're still going to have to execute. We're still going to have to find ways. Like if they know you're going to run the ball too, it might make it more difficult in that situation. So we'll see how Cleveland. You never know off the lake what's going to actually happen. It could be sunny, for all we know. So we'll prepare and we'll see what happens on Sunday.
I was kind of add to that when you see Miami's giving up some yards in the run game, right? And overall defensively, like you've been around a long time. Do you look at that and go, okay, this is a chance for us to do something, or can you just not afford to think like that?
Yeah, I mean, you watch the film and you see some scheme stuff where they got beat and some missed tackles where it's like, I mean, if they make a couple of those tackles, like it might not be as bad. So you look at both sides of it, the positives and the negatives, what schemes have worked. But I have caught myself in past lives in the league where it's like, oh, these guys are giving up the most yards, and you go out there and you don't execute. So I think for us, it's our fundamentals, our execution, and we'll see what happens on Sunday.
You made a point to say that it feels like this team is still connected. You've been around the block. What signs do you see that reinforce that? Yeah,
like I kind of touched on earlier, I agree with Bubba. The locker room is still close. Like it's been frustrating, and like I think everybody's collectively frustrated. But the pointing fingers, in argument, like in-house arguments and stuff like that, it hasn't been there. Everybody's just trying to have that positive attitude to find a way out, and try and get a win this week, and winning solves a lot of those issues if they are there.
You alluded to there a little bit. What are the warnings? What do you watch for to make sure that nothing is fracturing?
Yeah, it's just the in-house. Like you have people blaming other people. You have people talking behind people's backs. You have these meetings where it's all just like blame. Where a lot of people are just taking the blame on themselves. Like we have to do better as this, and we'll be in a better situation.
Joel, are you going to watch the icy hot bowl tonight?
I'll probably have it on. I hadn't heard it was named that yet, but I'll probably have it on. 2 division. We just played them. Obviously, Joe is a good friend of mine. It's one of those games where you just like kind of root for a tie. They're division rivals or something. I don't know. Can they both lose? But I'll probably have it on before I go to bed.
Joel, there's been some talk about those conditions, Sunday, those field conditions. You've played a bunch of games at that stadium. Is that as bad as it's been?
Yeah, that was the worst field I've played on. And it wasn't even bad weather or anything, which is the other part. Like you get some games, even in Cleveland, where it's been bad weather, bad rain, but it was bad. I mean, anytime you stepped, like so much turf was coming out. It was pretty much like dirt, but like piled up. Like I think Cam Hayward and Aaron Rodgers already mentioned it, but it was kind of embarrassing that the National Football League, the best in the world, is playing on that grass for a game. And I know they have a lot of teams that play there, but I just feel like that's not a great excuse. Like, we're fixing it now. It's like, well, the game is already over. The game that was played on it. So it was a little bit frustrating for sure.
Is it dangerous?
I think so. I mean, you lose footing, you lose ground. I mean, anytime you play football, it's dangerous. But in those situations, like, you would see a guy cut, and there would be just a mound of dirt and grass, and everything was sliding. I mean, you saw their kicker. One of their guys got hurt. Like, who knows if they would have got hurt in regular or slipped in regular. But you would think, you'd want a standard, perfect, as close to perfect playing surface you can get.
Yours seemed pretty perfect here. I mean,
Yeah, the Browns do a great job. Our field crew, I think, is, especially with our weather conditions here, I think they do probably the best job in the league of keeping, like, it's easy in Florida and stuff to keep nice grass, but for us, I think Cleveland does a great job.
And I know that's something the NFL Gates push for is to play on grass, but does that kind of go hand in hand with this idea of, like, there should be a standard of what that field looks like?
Yeah, I think if you're going to, like, I love grass. I'm 100 times out of 100 playing grass. But, like, you have to take care of it. You have to invest in it. You have to make sure it's a safe surface. And I think if you talk to 99% of players, they would agree with that sentiment. Yep. Thanks.
Thank you, Joel.
Chris put it up there.
Good go.
I got it.
I know you haven't, you've only faced two at once since you've been in the league, but just, how different how similar, how different is he since what you remember facing him when he was in college?
Yeah, I think the only time he played, did he play in that 22 game when we went there? Yeah, so I haven't played him a bunch, but I think this Miami scheme fits him a lot. Pattern throws and quick game and stuff like that, and timing routes. We know that their offense is, so he's doing a pretty good job over there. So hopefully we get to disrupt some of that timing.
I've been asking everybody else this today, so I want to ask you as well. You see a lot of the 1-5 teams springing leagues here and there, firing coaches, calling players out, having players only team meetings. What do you feel like is the mindset, the vibe for you guys as a 1-5 team right now?
I mean, obviously it's frustrating. You do all you can do to stay together as a team. Try to get that winning feeling back. I don't even, know when it feels like, like I forgot that feeling. It's really just chasing that feeling, man, and trying to do everything you can to get that back and not turn it on each other. Because that could avalanche the season, So hopefully just stand together and just finding a way to get one win so we can multiply it.
And how did you feel about what Miles said after the game? And you've said that you had a hard time not getting frustrated about the way you guys lose, and he expressed actual frustration about you guys losing the same way every week. So what did you think about him kind of articulating that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not fun. It's not fun. Nobody like losing like that. Losing in general, period. So I feel the frustration. We all do. And it's time to get it fixed.
I guess with the Dolphins, what are you seeing from them, especially without Tariq now out there?
I think more of the same stuff. Obviously, Waddle's become the main target, main guy. Darren Wallace, a cool vertical threat, good catch point guy. H-An on the perimeter in space. Washington on the jet sweeps and gadget guys. So, I think that they know how to use their tools. And I'm saying I'm really trying not to use filler words. So y'all gotta correct me on that.
Hey, Grant, I thought you go ahead. Statistically, you guys are one of the best defenses in the league, I think number 3. But also, you're the last in the league in red zone defense.
Damn.
So how do you explain that, or what can be done?
Yeah, I think just when you get down there, whether it's our fault that we got down there or we got put in a sudden change situation, really just having that pride and that ability to say that they ain't gonna run the ball in and that bat the passes down. So I didn't know that, but that's a good area we can improve in.
Grant, Miles talked a little bit on Sunday just about the idea you guys as a defense, you haven't had the chance to play with many leads. I guess what does that do in this scheme just because you are such an attack style defense, and how do you guys fight the frustration?
I mean, obviously, takeaways come, I think, when the offense is behind, chasing chasing plays, and feel like we've kind of been on our heels a little bit, being in a tight defense. So, look, I mean, whatever situation we in, it is what it is. We just got to go out there and contribute and produce, really. So, it doesn't matter if we're playing behind or whatever. If we're not producing, we're not producing. So I think that's been a common theme, us playing from behind. We just got to be comfortable being uncomfortable at this point.
Those Miami guys, what do you see the speed factor for them in the way that especially their running back, he seems really fast. What do you see in that level?
Yeah, that's just their game. They build their team around speed, perimeter plays, faking perimeter play, hitting the glances down the middle, and stuff like that. So that's just how they're built, just like how we're built as an attack team and stuff like that. So that's how we game plan around it.
What could a victory do for you guys on Sunday? How bad do you need it, and what do you think it
Yeah, like I said before, just doing everything we can to get one. Get that feeling again, that feeling of winning. It spreads, and it's not too much I can say about that.
Do you guys have some other? Well, I know you're not supposed to look too far down the road, but does it seem like if you could just get this one, you could stack a few?
Yeah, definitely.
What's behind the focus on filler words?
Filler words? I don't know. I saw it's just trying to just be more clear and not stutter with stuff and use filler words. But I think that's something we all got to work on. Yeah.
Grant, what did you think of that field you guys played on Sunday?
Oh man, being frank, it was the worst. I think it was the worst field I ever played on. Honestly, that and the Commanders 2022. I felt like glass. That was like we was at the beach on Sunday. But
Are you surprised there isn't like some standard where the fields need to be up to a certain level or something?
Yeah, I don't know what they had going on, but that was not the standard.
Grant, what's it like to play in bad weather, wind and rain is expected on Sunday?
Yeah.
What's it like to be a safety out there playing?
It's fun. It's fun. That's when mistakes happen. We take advantage of the mistakes, being a DB. So, especially on defense. I don't know about how fun it is on offense, but on defense, we love those type of games.
Well, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I think we always want to come in and be physical and play fast, right? And just when you get these teams that motion and shift a lot, you just got to make sure you have good eyes. And so that's a lot of the emphasis this week is knowing where your eyes are supposed to be and having them there.
What's the key against a running back with as much speed as A-Chain?
Yeah, they like to get them on the edge, and it's just making sure we have strong edges. And I think another big piece is just tackling. Rally to the tackle and get them down.
Carson, you guys haven't had a chance as a defense to play with leads very much this year. I guess how much would that change things for you? Grant was talking a little bit about opposing offenses if they're down, start to maybe take some crazier chances, maybe more chances at takeaways, things like that.
Yeah, you'll see a little bit of different things depending on how the game's going. But I think for us, every time we go out there, really we can't let them get the lead to start, right? I think that's the easiest way. Is just don't let them score points.
The last 2 or 3 weeks, you guys, quarterbacks have been getting rid of the ball quick. How do you combat that, and how much do you see some of those similar traits with Tua?
Yeah, I think when quarterbacks are getting the ball out quick, it's first a compliment to your pass rush, and they can't hold the ball for long, and it means the ball's not going to be going downfield as much, and so we got to be able to get the guys on the ground, and then third down if they hold on to it longer, get the sack. If they get it out quick, same thing, get them down and get the fourth down.
Did you learn anything going against Aaron Rodgers last week, just with how maybe he manipulated some of the guys in the defense, or anything you saw from him specifically?
There's definitely, you could tell, the experience he's had, and I think regardless of who I'm going against every week, I'm learning stuff, just because that was my 6th game, so yeah.
What do you think of that experience playing in that place? It's a dungeon for the Browns over the years.
Yeah, I think it's every away game is a cool experience, especially as a team. It brings you together, and that's what you get told anytime you're drafted to a team in this division, and that it's that type of football. And so I think any of those division games are fun to go playing, and you have to be physical.
You guys have struggled defensively in the red zone, and Miami's been good offensively in the red zone. When you watch them, what do you see that they do well down there?
I think they have their guys that they want to try and get the ball to, but it's a lot of similar stuff that they'll run, and for us, it's the same thing that I said earlier, making sure our eyes are right, knowing what they're trying to do based off the look they're giving us, and at the end of the day, doing your job and being in the spot you're supposed to be, and the plays will come to us.
Does it also matter their quickness? Is that why they're effective in the 20? They don't let things get bogged down in that area?
They like to get on the perimeter. I think it's the same thing even in the field, making sure that we just have our edges and we're running to the ball.
I know sometimes you're taken in the red zone after a turnover by the offense, but do you have an explanation why that seems to be a weak part of the Browns defense? You guys are last in red zone defense.
Mm-hmm. I think when we get there, we really have to lock in, and whether it's we're starting there or it's because of a drive or a big play or anything like that, that's when our antennas have to go up, and we just have to be ready and not give up touchdown holds into field goals. That's a win for us.
Good job.
Thank you.